Hi everybody, it's Kathy. Thanks for coming back to my channel. Today we're going to have a tutorial on making these cute little domino books. Let me show you this one. I've shown this previously on my channel, but didn't have a tutorial for making one, and I think they're so cute. So it's made out of 2 dominoes. And then it's just like a regular little journal inside with pictures and little tags, etc. This has a little envelope that folds. And then the binding, I added some beads, and so it's an open binding in the back. Okay, let's get started. I'll show you what you'll need. First thing, for paper materials and such, you need 8 to 12 domino digis. And those are these, obviously, that you see. You can get those on Etsy. And today we're going to do the theme of the Wizard of Oz. You need 2 dominoes. You can get these at Walmart or Amazon. They're 1x2 dominoes. They have dots on one side and they're blank on another. This one's made out of a pretty hard plastic. Okay? They almost feel like glass, but it's not. It's plastic. So you need 2 of those. You'll need a piece of journal paper, a variety. Really, a scrap is all you need. You need a scrap of plain cardstock. And when I say scrap, I mean you're going to need a piece that's 2x2 out of it. So any sort of plain cardstock or file folder would be fine. You need a closure ribbon or string. You need anything you want to use for your cover decor. I'm going to be using some rhinestones. You need binding string, a pokey tool, and 3 small beads if you choose to put the beads on the back like I did there. Okay, and then you'll need scissors, glue, a corner rounder, paper trimmer, and a bone folder. Bone folder isn't absolutely necessary, but might make it easier. Your domino digi should be cut out, and they're going to measure 1 by 2 inches. All your journal papers are going to be cut out. They're going to measure 2 by 2 inches. And you can actually come in a little bit less than 2 inches, just to make sure they fit in your dominoes so they don't come out the sides. Okay? So let's get started. I'm going to set the dominoes aside. Oh, I'm also going to use some inks on mine. I'm using Vintage Photo on these. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to set up the little journal itself. I'm going to make the signature. So I already have some papers cut out. This is going to be the back, front, and back cover. You won't see it because this will be glued to the dominoes, and the inside will have pictures glued to it. Now, I made this a little larger than 2 by 2. You know, it was maybe a 1/16 of an inch larger on each side. And that's so it will just simply give me some space when I go to bind it. Okay, so I have some journaling paper here, some regular journaling paper, and I have a fun piece of red paper I'm going to use. I have a piece of tracing paper, and I have a couple of ink-stained papers. So let me grab my bone folder. I'm going to just simply fold all of these in half, crease them very well, along with the cover. I love this paper. I get this at Hobby Lobby. It's it looks just kind of rustic, old, wrinkled, but I love it. I always try to put a piece in my journals or a section in my journals. I'm actually going to put this like this. You can write on one side. And then a little tea-dyed. You know, it's fun with my tea-dyed paper lately. I've been using the cold brew large iced tea bags, and I love the way it comes out. You don't have to worry about burning your fingers. And then I just put them in the oven until the paper's dry. I have to keep a watch on them. And I put them at 300 degrees or 310 degrees. So it's a lot hotter than most people are used to. But I do that and just keep an eye on it. And I put them on 2 large cookie sheets. Your signature is going to need only about 10 pages. Actually, that's 10 pages in total. So we're talking 5 pages, not counting your cover. So I'm going to use a tea-dyed at the front, then a regular, that's 2, 3, 4, 5. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to glue the domino picks on these, and I'm going to do that before I make the signature. I didn't do that before, and I'm sure it will be much easier. So I'm going to set these aside. Maybe I'll use the last tea-dyed anyway. No, actually I'll use a regular paper. Okay, put that in there. Put that there. And the cover's going to go behind everything. And that's going to be my signature for the dominoes. And dominoes are going to come like this. And like this, we're going to keep the plain edges to the outside. And it's okay if it peeks out a little bit. Okay? So let's put our pictures on. I'm going to start with a picture of Dorothy. As I said, I'm going to ink all of my pictures. I'm going to ink this because this will be seen a little bit at the edges. I'm going to ink it at the back. I'm going to put that there right at the beginning. Grab my glue. Put one picture on this side. And let's see, let's put Toto on the back cover. And you'll see how in between there's that little extra piece, extra length I cut. Remember I said I cut the cover a little over 2 by 2. Okay, then I'm going to add the next piece. And on this piece, I'm going to put, I want to make a little bag actually to put there. And I'm going to cut that at let's see. Let me get in here. I'm going to cut this just at 3/4 of an inch, because remember our domino is 1x2. And I'm going to fold it up. I'm actually going to use the pinking shears on it. You don't have to do this, and I didn't tell you you needed it. But I thought it would make kind of a fun thing to have a little mini bag inside. And all I'm doing is trimming this around the edges. I'm not fussing too much. And then I'm going to glue it down. Make sure, it looks like I got some glue inside the bag. That's not good. And I'm going to put this right here. Oh, I didn't ink it. It definitely needs to be inked. So let me take that off. I love having a glass top because stuff just wipes right off. I just got it because my mat was just getting so gross, no matter how hard I tried to keep it clean. Okay, I have a little bag in there. Now I need something to go in it. So I'm going to take maybe a little, I have a little scrap over here. Kind of goes with it, kind of, not, you know, I think it'll make a cute tag. I want to make sure it'll fit. Come on. Let me get in there again. Yeah, because it's really stuck together. You know what? I'm going to have to make this again because it really stuck together too much. Sorry about that. I got to be more careful next time that I make it. Okay. There it is again. Use my pinking shears. And try to give a little curve at the bottom if I can. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to ink it before I do anything else. Wipe that up. And now, try once again to glue it without it getting all smeared. I'm just going to put a little less. Okay, I think I got it now. Let's see if this is going to fit in. Still looks like I need to trim this a little bit. And then I'm simply going to take the edge, cut it like a little tag. I didn't ask you to get your hole punch out, but I have mine right here. Put a little hole in it. Put a little string in it, and we'll be good to go. My big fat fingers, it's kind of tough to make these little things. Help. Let me go the other way. Okay. The cute little tag to go in here. Cut that off a little bit. And we'll glue this right in here. A little more. Could actually decorate the front of that later. We're going to keep it just as is right now. We need something on this side. So let's make one of those little envelopes. And I'm going to use the rest of this paper. And again, I'm going to cut it at 3/4 of an inch. So it fits inside. And all I'm going to do with this is fold it up and up. So I'm doing the opposite of accordion style. I'm just folding it up. And that's as far as we'll go there. Let me cut it. And there we have a little envelope. Ink it up. You always want to remember to get the outside, although in this case it really won't be seen. And I always like to put some sort of color on it, decoration. I'll use the other little scrap I had here, and I have some that has some glitter on it. So that might be nice. Hopefully it'll fit across the top. Well, doesn't really fit. Doesn't fit. So let me go here. And that'll be pretty. So I'm just going to glue it and then trim it. I got the idea from these envelopes from Carol Tinson on her channel. Check her out. You'll learn lots of stuff. And I'm actually going to put it like this so that it can be opened up and actually written in. Just like that. So that's going to go in there. Then, whoops, I'm going to put the red piece. And I'm actually going to put a picture back here. Let's put the witch back there. The Wicked Witch of the West. I'll get you, my pretty. You and your little dog, too. And want to remember to ink it. Not a lot. Just to get rid of any white edges, really. And let's put something on this side while we're here. How about her monkey on the other side? This is quite big. I'm going to trim it. So, what do we have so far? We need, leaving that blank. Then we have the Wicked Witch. We have red. And I need to trim this. You always want to make sure you go so it's not so out of whack. Hope I didn't ink this little guy, the flying monkeys. That was my favorite part of The Wizard of Oz. How many of you remember when The Wizard of Oz was in black and white and then it only became color after the poppy fields? Then it turned, that's when color came in, and they added color to the film. Okay. I'm going to add the poppy fields on one side. This is what I look at as the poppy fields. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have a stamp that I'm going to put later. It says follow the yellow brick road. That'll fit there. I'm not going to take up your time with that. I want to put this one. Can barely see this. This is all the characters. Some of the digis on that you'll find are kind of from very old, but they won't be so much contemporary. So you're not going to get the characters looking as you probably know them. I'm trying to pick out the ones I found that were most similar to the ones that we typically see. And I'm going to add another page. What happened to my... I had my... Oh, here it is. I'm looking for my pages. I said, what happened to them? I want this to go over this. And then we have this one, and I want, what did I do with it? I want the picture of Dorothy in the middle. Actually, let me put this here. And when you're looking for these, just put in Domino Digi's Wizard of Oz or whatever theme you want to use. There's so many of them. There's some beautiful ones with dragonflies. I've made tons of necklaces using Digis. They're so easy to make once you get the findings for them, the little things that hold the chains or the cords for the necklaces. And then I'm going to probably put the Wizard of Oz on the front. So I will put this witch dun, 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 on this side. That also needs to be trimmed. Whoops. I'm going to add a paper in between so there's some place to write, although I forgot writing spaces on the edge. Then I'm going to add this to the center. And that's going to be our journal, our signature. I'm going to go back and I'm going to fold these again. Make sure they're nice and crisp. Whoops. And this goes in the center. Okay. Next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to move all these papers aside. I had some extras. And now I'm going to sew my signature. Oh, I want to ink this up. And I'm simply going to make 2 holes in this with my pokey tool. I'm going to go make a hole about, I want to say that's a 1/2 inch from the top. And the same distance from the bottom. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm also going to, I want to see how many beads I can fit on here. I think 3 will fit. Yeah. So I'm going to go down through the top, grab a bead, grab another bead, and grab my 3rd bead. And I'm going to pull that through. And then I'm going to come up through the bottom hole. Whoops, boy. I made another hole that I didn't want to make. Let's try that again. Okay, that'll be fine. And then I'm going to pull up this, just like that. Take off my needle. Make sure it's nice and tight. And tie it in a knot. Kind of tricky when you have the beads on it. Let me cut this because it's getting in my way. Okay. Tie it in a knot and then tie it again in a double knot. Well, come on now. Oh, that wasn't as tight as I wanted it. That's okay. Trim that off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this onto the dotted side of the domino. And I'm going to put glue on the paper side. I'm going to do one side at a time because I'm gluing it on this kind of not so porous material. You have to hold it a bit. And then put the paper back here. I mean the glue. Get it to the edge there. And do, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the closure on. Oh, I didn't want to do that anyway. I don't put the closure on that side. Dodo brain. Put the closure on the other side. Got a little confused there for a minute. Okay, so that's our journal inside. And you can continue to decorate inside any way that you'd like. We have our little envelope, which I think is so cute. And our little bag with the tag. Now, let's do this. We're going to glue this down to the front before we do anything else. Being pretty generous with the glue. Oh. I'm going to set that there. Then I'm actually going to put it all over here. And I'm going to put down my cover, which will be the Wizard of Oz. And that'll help keep the string in place. Then I want to okay, and now the back side. And on the back, let's see, I'm going to put the witches. Glinda the Good Witch needs to be trimmed just a little bit. And put our string. Place our string in place. Put down our witches. Ink it up just a bit. And I'm going to actually add some little red down the sides and around this. So, and I buy these rhinestones from Hobby Lobby. They come in the ribbon department. You'll see a spool with several colors of these sequins on them, or these rhinestones. So it's cool because, especially when they have their half-off ribbons, I always try to get some. And you can, you know, they come with like 4 or 5 different colors on them. And they happen to have hearts. These are hearts with rhinestones in the middle. I didn't put enough glue. Whoop. Just unglued that with my glued fingers. Glue that again. It would probably be much easier if you measured this first instead of doing it like I'm doing it. But what the hey? And that goes there. And I think we'll get 3 more in there. Oh, only 2 more. And 2 more in there. Whoops. I didn't have any blue gingham, which is the color of Dorothy's, you know, dress in the beginning of the Wizard of Oz. But that would have been pretty to put either as the cover or on the inside somewhere. Well, heck. Some people have those little tweezer things to put glue on. It never worked for me. Okay, now we can close this. And there we have our little domino book on the Wizard of Oz. Let's open it up and see what we've got. That's my favorite part, when you're done with something. So we have, we're not in Kansas anymore. Then we have a little place you can write or stick something. We have a little bag with a tag. We have the Wicked Witch and the ruby slippers. We have pretty red paper and the poppies. You can add something on top. Then another picture in place to little jot something down. Then we have the Wicked Witch, some paper. Then we have Dorothy. And I'm going to stamp on here, follow the yellow brick road. We have some more papers. We have a flying monkey. We have a little fold-out envelope. Toto, and the end. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial on Domino books. You all have a great Sunday, and please stay well and healthy, and be careful. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.